As teachers, our first lab in this college was freshly inaugurated. I remember me, Mrs. Joram Renu, who is the co-coordinator of this event, and under the guidance of Dr. B.L. Bera, we are in the process of putting forth this proposal for conducting this workshop. And at that time, I started talking to a couple of people, my colleagues from other institutes in ICR. And at that time, I also started speaking to Dr. Vijay Kumar for the first time. So that was a long time back. And at that time, if I remember correctly, and I confirmed from him already, at that time, NIT did not have a digital language lab. In fact, our institution is one of the first institutes in the state to have a modern digital language lab. And I must acknowledge the contributions of all those who were involved in establishing this language lab in our college. So really kudos to the government of Arunachal Pradesh, to the Directorate of Higher and Technical Education, to our principal of that time, Dr. N.T. Rikam, our RUSA cell coordinator, the RUSA cell of this college, and the coordinator, Dr.
Mind is very fast, right? Now it's here, it can go to Delhi immediately next second. Alright, that's how fast it is. So whenever in the class, I as a student have experience, I know all of you have had these experiences, that during 45 minutes, 1 hour, most of the time our mind is somewhere else. Alright, moving in our own world. Now, Language Lab gives a solution to that. It puts you in that kind of an environment where your attention is somewhere you become focused, right? When you are putting the headphone and you are in that environment listening to something, that definitely compared to a normal classroom, you are far more attentive when it comes to a language lab. Optimal acoustics. Today, if I demonstrate pronunciation to you in this classroom, because of many disturbances, you might be, everyone is not listening to my speech in the same manner, isn't it? For example, let me tell you, there is a difference between C-A-R-R-I-E-R and C-A-R-E-E-R. Alright? C-A-R-R-I-E-R is carrier and C-A-R-E-E-R is career. Career, carrier, career. Now this same thing, when you listen through those devices in a language lab, compared to what I did with you, it will be much more clearer. So enhance acoustics. The acoustics gets improved in a language lab. Definitely there is listening skill development, engagement and excitement. Motivation is very important. Alright. Sometimes, regular classroom, we are in a set format. There's a routine that we follow. So in that routine, Language Lab gives us that break. Alright? So it definitely excites us, it gives us that excitement and we are motivated. So laboratory sessions definitely help to develop our language. Optimal time management. I was telling you that in a normal classroom it's not possible. But in a language lab, it is possible for the teacher to speak to different people. I stop now, I speak to someone else. Someone else is speaking also, maybe I can listen to that recording later. Alright, there can be discreet talk between the teacher and the learner, because many people are shy to speak in front of public in the very beginning. They think that they might commit some error and people will laugh and there will be embarrassment. So that problem is solved in Language Lab, where you can one-to-one connect with the teacher and or one-to-one with some students. You must have heard about an organization called the British Council. British Council is responsible for promotion of English language throughout the world. So they conduct different training programs, they carry out different projects to understand the requirements or needs of English language learning of diverse population around the globe. At the interval of, let's say, 10-15 years, they have been conducting this survey where they try to see what is the future of English in today's world. So in 2006, they published a document, and there they had made some, they have identified some trends of where English language is going to go in future. There they had, made this, assessment that after 15 years, there will be a rise of other languages as well. As, in the earlier centuries, this side of the world, that is India and China, they used to lead the world in the beginning also. During the 18th century, 19th century, the power shifted, the economic power shifted to the Western countries, and they predicted that it's going to come back to India. And the dominance of the languages of India and China is going to go up. There will be a decline in the number of students that are learning English. That was a prediction that they made. But after 15 years, when we are reviewing those predictions again, a picture has appeared which is not in tune with all those predictions that were made in 2006. In the last 2 years, they have done this survey again. I have the report with me. It's called The Future of English Global Perspectives. Now here, they are making this assessment that change has not come. They predicted that English will become a basic skill for learners. So there will be no advantage for a person who knows English. English will be a basic requirement. That means everyone will know English. So if you know English, it is not putting you at an advantageous position or not giving you any kind of edge over any other. But then after 15 years, when they're reassessing, it's a contrasting picture because there is no decline as such. English, the demand for English is on the rise again. English is the language from academia to social media. English is the language from medicine to aviation.
It is simply impossible for any individual to learn all the languages of the world. But still, English has currency and that potential to substitute knowledge of all languages and dialects, because today, at least those who are educated, living in any nook and corner of the world, whether in Saudi Arabia, in France, in Japan, in Germany, any part of the world, they understand and they use English. So if you acquire proficiency in English, you can travel across the globe, across the world, in any nook and corner of the world without facing any hindrance, any problem. So that is the power of English. English is language of opportunities. English is the richest language, and though our keynote speaker, on the basis of the research conducted and the report, he has said that for next 15 years, English will continue to remain in currency and English will remain important language. But from my side, I say that English will continue to remain in currency. English will continue to remain the richest language and the most powerful language in the world for time, for infinity. There won't be any language replacing the power of English. There won't be any language even after 3 decades or 4 decades or 5 decades.
I acknowledge his moral support, his motivation, and his sense of commitment as a teacher of English. My special thanks to him for providing financial support to replace all the UPS systems in the language lab that were not functional till last week. You will be surprised to know that until last week the lab was not ready. Then we requested our principal sir to replace all the UPS system, and he agreed.
एक्चुअली हमारे इंग्लिश डिपार्टमेंट के अंतर्गत ये लैंग्वेज लेबोरेटरी 2019 में ही सेटअप हुई थी, उसका इनॉग्रेशन हुआ था। और बीच बीच में हम लोगों ने बहुत प्रोग्राम भी किया है लैंग्वेज लेबोरेटरी पर आधारित, जैसे ब्रिटिश काउंसिल कलकत्ता, उसके कोलैबोरेशन में भी हमारे इंग्लिश डिपार्टमेंट का प्रोग्राम हुआ था 2021 में, जो 10 डेज का था लैंग्वेज डेवलपमेंट, इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज डेवलपमेंट। फिर अभी आज जो हो रहा है ये वर्कशॉप है तो इंग्लिश डिपार्टमेंट ऑन द टॉपिक रेलिवेंस ऑफ लैंग्वेज लेबोरेटरी इन हायर एजुकेशन इन प्रेजेंट डे कॉन्टेक्स्ट कर रही है। इसमें द डिपार्टमेंट हैज़ इनवाइटेड टू resource persons, one keynote speaker, Dr. D.S. Gupta, assistant professor from RGU, another Dr. Vijay Kumar, assistant professor NIT Itanagar. The purpose, the objective of organizing this workshop is to motivate students for learning English and to know the importance of English today through language laboratory. Because a language laboratory has software, and through that software the students can get direct exposure to listen native speakers, and this will correct a students pronunciation, accent, and for especially spoken communication, phonetics, phonology, morphology, other features of linguistics. Language laboratory is a boon. Under RUSA funding, this language laboratory was set up in the year 2019. So this language laboratory is functioning very effectively, and many students have been reaping benefit advantages out of it. We are planning, I will request head of the department. We have a very experienced head of the department, and since he has joined this college as head of English department, many innovative things are taking place, and I will request him to plan and submit proposal for introducing certificate course in phonetics and English, and that will ensure employability and more opportunities to our students, because multinational companies, corporate sectors are looking for such fresh graduates who have proficiency in English. So this will enhance employability placement for our students.
सर इस लैब के जो फैसिलिटीज है उस ऑनलाइन इंग्लिश डिपार्टमेंट के बच्चों को दिया जाएगा या सभी जितने भी डीएनजी में पढ़ते हैं सभी के लिए दिया जाएगा?
नहीं, जैसा कि अभी डॉक्टर जे.आर. पाठी साहब हमारे हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट इंग्लिश के उन्होंने बताया, और मैं उनको अप्रिशिएट करता हूँ। ये इंग्लिश डिपार्टमेंट को बेसिकली हम कैटर करेंगे, लेकिन एनी लैंग्वेज, जैसे हिंदी लैंग्वेज, हिंदी हमारे यहाँ पढ़ाई जाती है, तो हिंदी डिपार्टमेंट के भी स्टूडेंट्स ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं। और जो हमारा कोर्स होगा, जो हमारा फ्यूचर ब्लूप्रिंट है, प्लान है, प्रपोजल है, बिफोर फोर्थ साइकिल ऑफ असेसमेंट एंड एक्रेडिटेशन, 3 months ड्यूरेशन का सर्टिफिकेट कोर्स इन phonetics and spoken English हम स्टार्ट करेंगे। दैट विल बी ओपन टू ऑल। तो स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम एनी डिपार्टमेंट, वी हैव 14 डिपार्टमेंट्स, 5 of science department and then 8 in arts and 1 commerce. So any student can join, or we will go extra mile to allow even other students and unemployed youth who after having completed graduation are still looking for job, they are unemployed. If they think that after joining this course, a certificate course in phonetics and spoken English, then they can get a job outside or inside, for them also we will allow, we are considering. Yes, sir.
सर जैसे कि आपने बताया 2019 में ही इनोवेशन हो गया था, अभी ये 2024 है, तो वो बीच में आप लोगों ने क्या ऐसा वर्कशॉप कराया था?
हाँ, एक्चुअली इन माय डेलिब्रेशन आल्सो आई पॉइंटेड आउट, हमारी 2 फैकल्टी मिसेस जोरम रेनू और मिस इतू मोर्तन, ये दोनों कोऑर्डिनेट करके ब्रिटिश काउंसिल के साथ कोलैबोरेट करके 10 days का लैंग्वेज डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम किया था स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, और बहुत एडवांटेज हुआ स्टूडेंट्स को। और आपका क्वेश्चन बहुत रेलिवेंट है। 2019 में लैंग्वेज लेबोरेटरी पूरी तरह वेल फर्निश्ड सेटअप हो गई थी, लेकिन फिर आपको पता है 2020-21 में कोरोना, कोविड, ये पैंडेमिक आ गया, तो 2 years तो उसी में हम लोग डिस्टर्ब रहे, सब कुछ ऑनलाइन ही चल रहा था। फिर भी जो स्टूडेंट्स आते थे या वर्चुअल मोड में ऑनलाइन, उनको हमारे फैकल्टी ने गाइड किया है, और बीच बीच में कभी कभी जो ग्रुप बैचेज ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स, ग्रुप्स ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स वेयर ऑल्सो गाइडेड। ऐसा नहीं है कि 5 साल तक पूरी तरह ये बंद था, बीच बीच में कोर्सेज होते रहे हैं, लेकिन आज जो ये हो रहा है, ये वर्कशॉप पहली बार हो रहा है इस तरह का, अपनी तरह का वर्कशॉप ऑन रेलिवेंस ऑफ लैंग्वेज laboratory in higher education in present days context. ये इंग्लिश डिपार्टमेंट ने टॉपिक बहुत अच्छा चूज़ किया है। आई बीइंग टीचर ऑफ इंग्लिश, आई फुल्ली एंडोर्स द रेलिवेंस ऑफ द टॉपिक, क्योंकि स्टूडेंट्स को मोटिवेट करने के लिए उनको बताना पड़ेगा व्हाट इज़ रेलिवेंस, व्हाट इज़ रोल, व्हाट इज़ इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ लैंग्वेज लैबोरेटरी, so that students will be magnetically attracted to attend the courses in language laboratory. तो लैंग्वेज लेबोरेटरी में उनके एक्सेंट, उनके प्रोनाउंसिएशन, फोनेटिक्स, ये सब को और भी इम्प्रूव किया जा सकता है। ईएलटी में इसका रोल बहुत है, लैंग्वेज लेबोरेटरी का करेक्ट प्रोनाउंसिएशन। जी,
आपने बीच में
ये आइडिया हमको अभी आया जब वर्कशॉप में हम ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं इनॉग्रल सेशन में, तो मैं इंग्लिश डिपार्टमेंट की मीटिंग बुलाऊंगा और मीटिंग में हम डिस्कस करेंगे। प्रिंसिपल क्या होता है, उनका रोल है जस्ट टू फैसिलिटेट, टू सुपरवाइज करना, तो हमारे कलीग्स को है, फैकल्टी मेंबर्स को है, डिपार्टमेंट को है, तो उनको बुलाकर मैं एक मीटिंग करूंगा, इसके लिए प्रपोजल उनको कहेंगे बनाने के लिए। तो लगता है हम जल्दी ही शुरू कर पाएंगे, 1-2 महीने में शुरू कर लेंगे, क्योंकि 3 मंथ्स का होगा ये कोर्स। ठीक, जल्दी करेंगे।